Imagine a world where East and West are locked in a fierce battle for control of one of the most sacred cities on earth, Jerusalem. This was the scene during the 12th century, a time when Christian Crusaders from Europe clashed with Muslim forces in the Middle East. In the midst of this chaos emerged a leader who would become a legendary figure on both sides, Sultan Saladin. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of Saladin, a man who was not only a great military leader, but also a symbol of chivalry and honor. Saladin, whose full name was Salah ad-Din Yusuf ibn Ayyub, was born in 1137 in Tikrit, a city located in present-day Iraq. His family was Kurdish, and his father served as a military officer. Saladin grew up during a time of great turmoil, as the Muslim world was divided, and the Christian Crusaders had established several strongholds in the Holy Land. As a young man, Saladin was deeply influenced by his mentor, Nur ad-Din, a powerful Muslim leader who was determined to unite the Muslim world and reclaim Jerusalem from the Crusaders. Under Nur ad-Din's guidance, Saladin learned the art of war, politics, and importantly, the principles of Islamic justice and mercy. Saladin's rise to power began in Egypt. In 1169, he was appointed as the Vizier, a high-ranking political advisor of Egypt, a position that gave him significant military and political control. Although he started as an official under the Fatimid Caliphate, a Shiite Muslim dynasty, Saladin was a Sunni Muslim, and he eventually abolished the Fatimid Caliphate, bringing Egypt under Sunni rule. Over the next few years, Saladin worked tirelessly to unite the Muslim territories of Egypt, Syria, and parts of Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. By 1174, after the death of Nur ad-Din, Saladin declared himself the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, effectively becoming the most powerful Muslim leader in the region. Now, let's fast forward to the moment that would define Saladin's legacy, the Battle for Jerusalem. In 1187, after years of smaller skirmishes and battles, Saladin launched a major campaign against the Crusader states. The most significant battle of this campaign was the Battle of Hattin, where Saladin's forces defeated the Crusaders in a decisive victory. This victory allowed Saladin to march towards Jerusalem, the holy city that had been under Christian control for nearly 90 years. But here's where Saladin's story takes an interesting turn. Unlike many leaders of his time, who were often ruthless in their conquests, Saladin was known for his chivalry and mercy. When he finally captured Jerusalem in October 1187, he allowed the Christian inhabitants to leave the city safely, even though they had been preparing for a brutal siege. This act of kindness earned Saladin respect, not only from his Muslim followers, but also from his Christian enemies. Saladin's capture of Jerusalem sent shockwaves through Europe, leading to the launch of the Third Crusade. This was a massive military expedition led by some of Europe's most powerful kings, including Richard the Lionheart of England. The Third Crusade is famous for the epic battles between Richard and Saladin, two warriors who were both respected for their bravery and strategic genius. Despite many battles, including the famous Siege of Acre, the Crusaders were unable to recapture Jerusalem. In 1192, Richard and Saladin agreed to a truce. The treaty allowed Christian pilgrims to visit Jerusalem, even though the city remained under Muslim control. This agreement marked the end of the Third Crusade and solidified Saladin's reputation as a wise and just ruler. Saladin passed away in 1193, just a few months after the truce with Richard the Lionheart. At the time of his death, he had given away most of his wealth to the poor, embodying the virtues of charity and humility that were central to his character. His legacy lived on, not only in the Muslim world, but also in Europe, where even his enemies admired him for his honor and integrity. To this day, Saladin is remembered as one of the greatest leaders of the medieval world, a man who united the Muslim world, defended his people, and treated his enemies with respect. His story is a powerful reminder that even in times of war, it is possible to act with humanity and honor. Saladin's life is a tale of power, conflict, and compassion. He was a warrior who fought for his beliefs, yet he was also a leader who knew the value of mercy. His story continues to inspire people around the world, showing us that true greatness comes not just from military might, but from the strength of character. Whether you're interested in history, strategy, or just a good story, Saladin's life is one worth knowing. So next time you think of the Crusades, remember the name Saladin, a hero who stood tall in a time of great turmoil.